All these quote-unquote hardcore gamers are ranting and raving about how they're gonna sleep outside GameStop waiting for Madden 12. Well, guess what? I got Madden 97, bitches!
Hey guys, Future J2 here. Today I want to review a game that really means a lot to me. And that game is Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. Now, I know what you're thinking. Future Gohan, why does this crapfest of a game mean a lot to you? Well, to be honest, it's not all that crappy. A lot of people think it's crappy because it's got little to no characters, the dubbing is god-awful, story mode is a pain in the ass, drama pieces are a disgrace to fighting games, and it's overall not a good game. But guys, to be honest, the reason why this game means a lot to me is because this is the game that got me into Dragon Ball Z. One day I just got my PlayStation 3, I was roaming around the store, and all of a sudden I saw Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, oh, well, I know that Dragon Ball Z is, you know, an action show, and you know, I'm extremely bored and I love fighting games, so I want to see how this game plays. And so I downloaded the demo and I played it and I liked it. And then I went out to Hollywood Video, rest in peace Hollywood Video, but I went out to Hollywood Video, I rented the game, I beat it, I loved it, and then I ended up buying it. And that was all before I'd ever even seen Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I used to watch it, I used to look at it back on Tsunami and I'd be like, oh, this show's overrated, I don't like it just because it's overrated, turn the channel, you know. That's how I am with a lot of things, or I used to be. But yeah, that's why it means a lot to me. But to be honest, it really isn't all that bad of a game if you actually give it a chance. So the first thing I want to get into is story mode. Why is it good and why isn't it good? The reason why it isn't good is because it covers a lot of fights. It covers a lot of fights, and even then, it doesn't cover all of them. It covers ones that you wouldn't really expect, and then it covers ones that it was supposed to but didn't. So it's kind of weird. And I mean, the story mode is all right, but it's really hard to explain. You really have to play the game in order to find out. But they do have some nice what ifs in there, though. I like this game for it has really good what ifs. You know, what if Bardock came back? You know. What if you know, Broly came back, and like they completely redid the story with Broly, completely redid it. You know, what if, you know, Gohan was a Super Saiyan 2 when he fought Broly? What if Goku ascends to Super Saiyan 2 when he's fighting Broly? You know, there's just a lot of stuff going on in that stage. But overall, the story it's mediocre. I mean, I've played through better story modes of Dragon Ball Z. To be honest, probably maybe Tenkaichi 2 or Tenkaichi 3 was maybe the best playthrough of the actual story. And this all leads me into my next topic: voice acting. How good is the voice acting? Well, I really haven't listened to much of it on Japanese, but I have listened to quite a few scenes in Japanese, and it's not. You'd think that when you listen to the English dub and how terrible it is in this game, you'd be like, oh, well, I'm sure the Japanese is better. Well, it really isn't, because it misses a lot of the lines too. Because in this game, it's a thing that's infamous for Japanese anime when it gets translated into English. There's a lot of gappings in where the person's supposed to be talking, where like Goku says, he's like, I'm a Saiyan, and I was raised on Earth, and then right after he says that, his mouth is still moving, when it's not supposed to be. And even in the Japanese, if you put it in Japanese, there's still scenes that are like that. Now, not all of the game is bad. Like, Goku going Super Saiyan against Frieza, that scene sent chills down my spine. Now, there were some times where it did get out of whack in the voice acting, but for the most part, I thought that scene was very well done, and it looked, sounded, and was just epic. And I really, really, really liked everything about it. Everything about that scene, except for like the mediocre. The animation is kind of hit and miss. It's okay. I mean, it's like it just doesn't work. To be honest, it just doesn't really work well. It looks nice, but a lot of things are dark. Like the skin tone is really dark. It's just a really dark game. With most Dragon Ball games, it's bright, it's vibrant. There's a lot of stuff going on. Here, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's so dark. Like the colors and everything are just really, really dark. And I know a lot of people would like to argue about this, but I mean, look at this game, and then play Tenkaichi 3 or play Budokai 3. The colors are a lot darker than we're used to. I mean, they're not dreadfully dark and noticeable if this is your very first Dragon Ball Z game, but compared to the other ones, the animation is a bit darker. There are some scenes where it looks simply amazing. For example, the Goku Kamehameha clashing with Vegeta's Gallic Gun. To be honest, I think that looks amazing. It looked amazing in the animation. Goku using his, as they like to use it in the Dragon Ball Z games, angry Kamehameha against Frieza. That one looked... It didn't look that great. It really didn't. I mean, it basically looked the same as the original Budokai. I mean, it didn't look all that great. Goku didn't look like he was really putting that much power into that quote-unquote angry Kamehameha. He didn't, like... Frieza looked... When Frieza was getting hit by it, that looked amazing. But everything leading up to it wasn't that great. Frieza's blast was, like, thin. I mean, what was that? I mean, if you watch it in the show, and then it's a huge blast. You would actually expect Frieza firing it, but in this thing, it's like, what was that? I mean, there are beams fired in the actual gameplay that are bigger than the one in the cutscene. I mean, that was just pathetic. The one that he uses in his gameplay was bigger than that, so that doesn't even make any sense. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the costumes for the characters. Now, some of them are cool and a bit different, but some of them are quite stupid. Look at Bardock's, for instance. He's a proud Saiyan warrior, and he looks like Barney the freaking dinosaur. Why is he purple? Why is he purple? Purple doesn't fit. I mean, he's completely purple too. His bandana's purple, his armor's purple, his boots are purple. He's purple. He's Barney. Okay? I mean, at least with Broly and he had a purple quilt, at least he wasn't completely purple. At least they didn't make his gold boots purple. At least they didn't make his hair purple. No, everything about Bardock's second costume was purple. Oh god, not to mention Nappa's second costume. He looks like a freaking stormtrooper. He seriously looks like a stormtrooper. Like, I'm not even kidding. Whenever you get the chance, look at it. He looks like a stormtrooper. Like, the costume that interests me the most is Goku's second costume. Now, when I first thought about this, I was skeptical. I'm like, oh, well, this is stupid. It's just the reversed colors. I mean, I'd rather have Goku in his hyperbolic time chamber costume. I think that'd be badass. Or his Jar Jar outfit. But like later did I realize that when I was making my fan fiction story, I designed my costume for evil Goku. And then later I was playing the game, I plugged in Burst Limit because I was bored, and then I was like, holy crap. I had no idea that I accidentally designed my character off of a second costume on one of the Dragon Ball Z video games. I had no idea. But I mean, I honestly didn't do it purposely because not even the boots were the same. And actually, to be honest, ever since I was little, every time I came up with an idea, it seemed someone always would steal it. Like, I remember a long time ago, like, Batman the Animated Series was, like, my favorite cartoon series of all time. And Bane was one of my favorite villains. And I was really into Star Wars. Like, I could not get enough Star Wars. And so I wanted to make my own Star Wars story. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make it my own character called Darth Bane. And actually, I thought that would be pretty... You son of a bitch.